Apparently I'm closing the show tonight. All right, so with that in mind, each of the candidates will be given 2 minutes to give kind of their closing statements. Okay, the question for you tonight as your closing statement is, if you are elected and are able to accomplish the items on your political platform, what will District 56 look like in 5 to 10 years? Mr. McGinnis, if you'd like to start.
If I'm elected in 10 years, we'll all have those floating skateboards like they had in Back to the Future. That's my plan. If I'm elected, if everything could go well, if you had that magic touch and you could make everybody else in Columbia work with you the way you want to, we can achieve a lot. I would like to see a place where my kids, TJ and Aaron, could get a great job. Maybe TJ goes into aerospace and Aaron is an actress down in the little Hollywood down at the old Hard Rock Park. But that's the kind of place we need to see. We need to see a place that has great jobs, that has great industry. We need to see the infrastructure here. We need to see the roads behind the subdivisions. Bless you. We have the opportunity to make this great. 20 years ago, we didn't plan it out so great. Right now, we have an opportunity to make better on those decisions. You can send somebody to Columbia who will work for you. All of you in here raised families, or if you didn't raise families, you came from a family. I'm doing this for my family. I want this to be a family-centered community, a place where you want to move a family, where you want to raise a family, where I one day want to be lucky enough not to work and maybe play a little golf if I remember how. I want these things, and I know we can achieve them. We have great people and great minds here. I want to be your voice in Columbia to make this the best place to live in South Carolina, to make this something like they have in parts of Columbia, parts of Charleston, parts of Charlotte, the great communities that are growing and thriving. I want to be a part of that, and I want to help us get there. I respectfully ask for your vote on October 24th. Please support me. Please support Carolina Forest. Please support District 56 and all of Horry County. Let me go to Columbia and work for you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Scott, if you'd like to come next.
Thank you, Brandon. 10 years from now, in Carolina Forest and District 56, you can imagine roads being beautiful. The grass will get cut within 10 years, I promise, on the side of the roads. This recreation center is going to grow and develop. And just like you saw it today with kids everywhere, there are going to be kids running around everywhere. It's going to be safe. It's going to be protected. There are going to be families here of at least 3, if not 4 generations. We're not going to have the crime issues. There are going to be policemen around here. You're going to see policemen. They're not going to be policemen fighting crime as much as policemen protecting our kids, protecting our families. They're friends of our communities, and they're going to have precincts here along with the fire and rescue, and they're going to get paid for their service, and they're going to love being here, and they're going to love being part of this family, of this community. That's where it's going to be 10 years from now. At the same time, we're going to have industry here. Industry based on health care, tech industry with a lot of these students using their gifts and talents at home, on the internet, with tech industry bringing more tourists across the river to Myrtle Beach. 10 years from now, we're going to allow Myrtle Beach to continue to do what they're doing. Be an amazing epicenter for tourists to play and have fun, while we can do the same thing, go right across the waterway and have fun, have an incredible time. At the same time, feeding the state the tax money that we need. At the same time, with me being your representative now, fighting for the funds that we deserve, the portion that we deserve, instead of giving it away to other areas. 5 years from now, we're heading in that direction. Things are building up. Infrastructure, we're catching up with our infrastructure mistakes. The roads are not as clustered. It's safer. We have policemen in our area, in our district. And 1 year from now, the way we're going to do that is we're going to start with some transparency. You elect me. I'm asking for your vote. I'm going to start by creating transparency and committing to telling you and explaining to you everything that's going on on this local level and on a state level. And I'm making that promise to you, and I want to thank you for your vote on October the 24th.
Thank you. Mr. Miller.
Wow, 10 years from now, I'll be 32 actually. Oh boy. Hopefully at that time I'd have a family, and I'd be a state representative for House District 56. One thing that I would like to see done is there to be a referendum on the ballot for the people of District 56 to decide, do we want to become a city? So in 10 years, you will have been given the opportunity to make that decision for yourself. Number two, one thing that I want to propose, and I always preface it with this, one thing that I want to do is propose legislation in the South Carolina General Assembly that imposes 10 term limits on the House and the Senate. You know, we have a president that can only stay in for 8 years. We have a governor that can only stay in for 8 years. Why is it any different for members of the House and members of the Senate? So if you elect me, I will at the very least pre-file a bill that says just that. Another thing that I would like to do is to, and I will do, is I will support the piece of legislation that Kevin Hardy and Jeff Johnson have pre-filed in the South Carolina House about parking. I will be a vocal proponent in the State House for just that. And finally, one thing that I hope to do if elected is hold bi-weekly off-session meetings where I can hear from people like you. You know, it is my job to not listen to the people in the State House. It is my job to listen to you and to represent you as best I can. So thank you, and good night, and God bless.
Thank you very much. I'm now going to pass this microphone to our student host so she can close out this evening.
Thank you, candidates, for joining us at our student-led District 56 Republican debate. We now plan to do a post-debate analysis with a panel of students who scored the debate tonight. For those of you watching online, the panel discussion will begin in a few minutes. And for those of you in the audience tonight, please allow us to take a few minutes to turn the set for our panel. And if you would like to, move to the back or into the hallway. We would greatly appreciate it. Also, we want to thank everyone who helped us make this happen, specifically the candidates, our special guests, the Carolina Forest Civic Association, the Carolina Rec Center, and the public for joining us. Also, a special thank you to Ms. Driggers, our principal, Mr. Aguli, and Mrs. Weaver for organizing the debate, and to HTC for setting up a wireless connection so that we could stream this event to our community tonight. Thank you again for joining us, and remember to go vote on the